Shoot. There we go. Man. Day late. Definitely not a dollar short though. Good day if you're a FAMUing. A lot of good times, a lot of fun. And if you're an FSU fan like me, it was doubly good because I think we got a solid hire. And I think we got a candidate that's probably going to want to stay at FAMU for a while. So I don't know. It could just be me. But that's just me and my 2 cents, me and my opinion. But I think FAMU's got somebody that's going to want to stay for a little bit. And they have just a modicum of success. It's going to be some good times ahead. You already know what it's about to be, though. It's about to be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations. Heisman on the hill. Hey, you can say you heard it here first. You can definitely say who told you. And it wasn't me. We might have that person on, and they can carve a little time for us. Kind of send a late invite to Brian Fulford from the ONG Strike Zone, because I want to make sure he gets full credit. Like, he was definitely the one who kind of broke that. Right here though. What's up? It's going, cuz. I see you there. What's up, Mary 305? But yeah, got a Heisman on the hill. We're gonna talk about that. Kind of talk about, how I feel about it. This is another case where wasn't my top choice, but I like the hire. So I'll you early for the first time. Hey, I don't normally go on Mondays, so it's not even your fault today. Yesterday, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was Easter. I was cooking. I was on the grill, and I looked up, and we had some friends over, and just started having some family and friend time. And it's like, man, I'm tired, man. I'm definitely gonna enjoy this while I got it. So I'm one of those. My dad parents raised me huge on family. So when you get a little time with family and friends, you take it because you don't know you're gonna get it again. So, but you look over to the high 7 hills, man, there's some championships over there. And look, big shout out and thank you to the Rattler Boosters. If you are so inclined, you are more than welcome to still join. Still some months left, but I will tell you, I know Key's gonna be honest with you. I ain't gonna never tell nobody not to join the boosters, but the fiscal year ends in about 2 months. So if you are really like, hey, all right, I'm about to join the boosters, put it aside. Come back July 1st, because you're gonna be really mad because you're gonna be like, football season come, and you're gonna be like, I paid in April, and somebody's gonna say, oh, that was the old fiscal year, and you're gonna be like, oh well. So I'm not the type of person to catch you slipping. I'm not shiesty. I do owe Colonel Joe a call. That's on me. But yeah. So if you are so inclined, got your income tax money, got a little bonus, make that donation there. Also, Friday, you'll see it today. You'll see it Thursday. Go check out St. Clair Moraine. He was at the coaching signing day, so or announcement, whatever you would call it. He was there today. So I love how this week St. Clair and I have been a little bit everywhere, man. So, ONG Strike Zone, they've been a little bit everywhere too, man. So you've seen Brian, myself, HBCU game day. Like, the Rattler people have been traveling. So, but before we get too far in that, championships, SWAC champions. What's up, little baby? Look, I love it. I love it even more because we get to celebrate a lot. Like, it's just good to be the champs. Like, definitely, if you consider what this is year 4, 5 in the SWAC, FAMU's got a championship for every season already. I mean, we may not have one in every season, but considering, whatever you want to consider, we got another one. The tennis team, almost called them kings, but the queens, came through and ran it up. So, what's up, Terry T? It was a beautiful sight to see. And I ain't gonna hold you. With tennis, it wasn't as bad as golf, but I had a little feeling. I wasn't nervous, as Eddie Griffin like to say, but I was definitely anticipating it. Once they got it, it was over. Like, just tell y'all right now, when it comes to FAMUans, we brag different, talk a lot of trash, but we won the championship. And we came away with some awards and recognition. Player of the Year, Sarah Kim. I don't like that. I ain't loving how they did the Rattler on that one. I ain't loving that one. This was straight. The picture was a little off, but you can see. You see that? I'm just saying. Got the SWAC commissioner in the picture with Sarah Kim. I like it. I'm a fan of that one. I like that. I will say this about the commissioner. Solid dude. I've met him a couple times. He be paying attention. He know who speak greasy about him. He know who don't. So, I don't normally talk bad about people, no way. But I feel like everyone has places they can grow. Heck, I got places to grow. Y'all saw that live the other day. Brother got to get some different internet for doing the lives. Different cameras. We got to step our game up if we're going to do lives. But, hey, that's on me. I should have researched a little better. Anyways. But you can also see all tournament team. Genesis Whitlock, she was an all tournament team. And look at Dr. McClellan up there, skinning and grinning. Okay, I see you, Doc. And then Reagan Harris. So, some good looks for FAMU this weekend and this past week. We're gonna talk about the football a little bit too. A little hurting. Also, though, double it down. SWAC champions for the Rattler golf team. I ain't gonna hold you. If you caught the show with St. Clair a few weeks ago with Coach Rice, he was so honest. He was like, "Yeah, we got one player. Other school's gonna come for him. I don't know if we're gonna keep him." Like, Coach Rice is real, and went up there with pretty much a fairly new team. Kicked butt, took names. Yeah. And another SWAC championship. Like, and this is why it was imperative to keep him. Like, I know some of us, you might have felt some type of way when he was like, hey, he was going to PV, but it worked. They got better facilities. We have a driving range. Like, it's a thing. And he also got Coach of the Year. But, SWAC, besides the fact I don't like that picture, I need y'all to fix that picture of my coach. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Coach Rice has slimmed down. Like, Coach Rice has lost a good, 60, 70 pounds. Like, he ain't playing no games. He don't look like that no more. Don't do my coach like that no more. And that's on the popcorn. Like, look, baby, it's going to take some funds, some donations. Well, we appreciate the kind of jingle. We'd rather the kind that folds. It's going to take some donations. We also got the freshman low medalist, Sasha Robinson. I'm telling you, I had that golf team. I can lie to you, or I can be honest about this. And y'all know, I ain't as bad as my what's the guy used to be the wrestler, realest guy in the room. How you doing? But I'm gonna be real with you. That's gonna be one of them ones. Be hard to keep. Look, And Lil Baby says they need to ask for yearly updated images to keep that from happening. I'm just saying, like, you look at Coach Rice, I ain't gonna lie. First time I saw him in a while was when we did the show with St. Clair, and he came on, and I'm like, who is this guy? I see you, Coach. Look, he had lost a little bit, trying to get cute. Like, Doc, you better stop. We came down here to Apopka and forgot something. But got the SWAC champions. I'm loving it. Additionally, though, look, baseball was solid. Baseball was solid for like going. That was it. Softball was it, though. Softball took care of business. They beat Cookman 2-1. Loved it. Now, baseball, we got swept. And I went out there. I will say this. I know Mike Reed went out there. I know Brian from OSG Strike Zone. I know Vaughn was there. There were a couple others that were out there. So, first and foremost, shout out to the city of Sanford, their Parks and Rec department. As y'all saw, Thursday show was from there, live on location. They won all three. My bad, Hollow. I don't know why I thought it said 2-1. There we go. Thank you for correcting. It was a sweep. So we swept them. They swept us. Thank you, Hollow. Thank you for keeping me correct. Y'all know I don't mind being corrected. But the best thing about the baseball facilities there, and I said this to Brian, I remember Mike Road Dog. It's kind of we mentioned the same thing. Man, if FAMU had a baseball facility like that, you'd be solid. Coach Rice is from Apopka, so it's kind of like IYKYK situation. But especially during football season, when he comes on St. Clair's show, I definitely mess with him. So they have a historic football program. Warren Sapp played there. A couple other guys come through there. But yeah, so Coach Rice came out of Apopka. So just a little north of everybody in Orlando. So 9 out of 10, if you got friends that went to FAMU, you know somebody lives in Apopka or next to it. So, but anywho's, but that was look, we couldn't hit nothing. Like, we couldn't make solid contact on jack. Like, Cookman's pitchers were dealing. And it was a good atmosphere, though. Like, I will say, like, considering they drove an hour from their campus to host the game, then FAMUans, honestly, it was almost half FAMU, half Cookman. Like, if I'm being real with you, that should be, if I'm the city of Sanford, that's a thing. Like, that's a thing. Like, I'm making that a game. I'm making that an event. I'm putting some food trucks out there. Like, I'm making that a yearly classic. Like, I literally talked to BCU and say, hey, what can we do to get this game here every year? Because it was nice. Like, even I went Thursday night. I did not go Saturday. Saturday, I went to the Orlando Regional Chapter Appreciation event. So, look, I told y'all, I don't just sell this narcotic. I use it. Like, I don't just tell y'all, hey, let's go support FAMU. Let's go to the baseball games. I go. I don't just tell y'all, hey, we should go to the alumni events and support them. I go. So Saturday, Friday, I'd have daddy time. So we had to have a little daddy-daughter time. And it was good. It was good. But on Saturday, we went out there and we went to the Greater Orlando chapter celebration, and I watched it on Cat Side, though. So, and I was like, man, but like I said, but yeah, look, cuz I'm telling you, Coach Rice from Apopka too, APK. That's where Junior's from too. Junior played it with Kava. We'll see. Anywho's, but look, I'm just saying, Mike, it was nice. It was a perfect size. Like, I'm telling you, Mike, like, I will say this. As someone who's been to Cookman's, well, it's not Cookman's Stadium, but the stadium in Daytona, I prefer the one in Sanford. And I know the one in Daytona has been renovated. The only thing the one in Daytona really has, the park is a little better. I will say that. The parking in Daytona is better, and they got a video board. Otherwise, that park in Sanford was perfect. It sat about maybe 1,400, like jam-packed. And for the game, I went Thursday night, probably had a good 3, maybe 400. But as Mike pointed out, it didn't feel like there was only 3 or 400. And you had kids kind of playing to the side. Like, it was a real good baseball vibe. Like, I came away really saying, more Kittles, if it looked like this, would be perfect. And, for those who didn't go, look, I told y'all, I was there. I went there. I took pictures. I'm one of them. So I'm a stadium nerd to a certain degree, high degree. But you can actually see right here, and it was free. Like, normally I don't remember how much the games are in Daytona. It's not much, but it does have the history there. I will say, though, the field was natural grass. It was nice. Honestly, this is literally, I was next to Brian, but you could see, like, it's not too big. And you built something like this at FAM, like, or just renovated more Kittles to look something like this. I mean, I really think you would have a top-notch facility in the SWAC. Like, this is obviously from behind home plate in the stands, but it was quaint. It was nice. Perfect size, man. Like, and you could see it looked like a really good facility, fun place to be at, good atmosphere. They only had one concessions. That's my only complaint. Like, my only complaint, besides the parking, was they only had one concessions area. The parking was a little close to the stadium, too. Somebody's car got hit. Wasn't me. Thanks be to the Lord. But y'all can see a brother definitely got some pictures while he was there. So it was a good time, though. So I will say, if I am FAMU, Cookman, and Sanford, considering the relationship you already have with Central Florida, I talk about making that a classic, because it's 45 minutes from Orlando, depending on what side of town you're on. Like, in 45 minutes, okay, I should say it better. An hour circle from that stadium, you're hitting Daytona, Orlando, most of Metro Orlando, and you're almost touching, like, other parts of Central Florida, like Osceola County. So it's not a bad ride. Nice facility, and it's shaded. Like, the entire spot is shaded. Like, it's just a thing. Look, little baby, I'm just saying. I think about that. Like, I've gone on the show, said this for years. It doesn't make any stupid sense to me why FAMU and Cookman do not have a season series at one. Well, we only have one now, but at one of these major league parks. Like, I get that these teams are stepping away from DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, all that kind of stuff. But, man, wouldn't it be really nice? Like, okay, you already have the Jackie Robinson game, right? Right. But wouldn't it be really nice, especially if you're a team like the Marlins, where ain't nobody coming there no way, where you can have like a baseball series where it's like FAMU, Cookman, Flomo. I don't know if Flomo got baseball, but I know Edward Waters does. Like, at Lone Depot Park. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to throw that out there. Like, you can maybe use it as a tax write-off or something if you're them, but just kind of getting that idea of having, like, those kind of sporting events where people are, like, coming to it, and you're getting a different audience. I love baseball. Don't get me wrong. I might go to Tampa, I might not. I want to go to Steinbrenner just to say I've been, but I've been by it. I just have never been in it. Like, I don't like Yankees. Like, hate to be that guy, but I'm a Rays fan. Like, I used to be a Braves fan. But, and Marvin says it was a great evening. Look, it is a great evening, but it was a fun game, man. And I really do believe you should do a classic bet. Like, have the city sponsor it. See if you can get the city behind it, and start really reaching into And this is where, again, this is just the cog spin for me. Reaching to Babe Ruth, reach into Little League, and have like Thursday be Little League Babe Ruth Youth Night. The kids get in there for free. Everybody got in there for free. So it's not like kids get in free. It's like a thing, but it's in a night where you're encouraging these kids to come through with their parents. And that does two things. One, it's exposure. Like, especially if you're going to do it like you're doing it now where you're not charging anything anyway, get the kids some exposure. Let them come out there. Let them shag some balls, get on the field a little bit pregame, postgame. Like, let them pregame out there and just play around. Like, they actually have some fields on the other side of the stadium. Like, I'm just saying, I think that's the kind of community engagement where you build fans. Like, you build a community, and you already get the old people like me coming through. Because it's like, hey, Thursday night, I might come through. Like, just check it out. FAMU's in town. I'm coming. Like, and you were literally here the whole week. You had the UCF series, UCF game wasn't even serious. Then you had this series. So we took it on the chin, though. Like, we're going to lose a streak. 5 games? Like, so we lost UCF. Got swept here. Then we lost the Valley before this. So we need some get back this week. Like, 220. I expect Vaughn to say, somebody's getting a little belt applied to the keister in our next baseball game. But again, if you went there, it was a really good venue. That venue, to me, should be the archetype of what you would want more kiddos to become. Maybe modernize it a little bit, but what's up, Ms. Williams? But I think that's what you do if you want to have baseball become something that's like viable at FAMU, because it eliminates a few things. One, eliminates the elements, because the stadium was covered and all the stands were covered. Like, wasn't a seat in there that wasn't covered by the stadium. Also, it was just the right size. It wasn't too big, wasn't too small. It was just right. And I think if you got away with like 1,000 seats for more kiddos, that's perfect. That might be too many, but just gonna put that out there. Now, now the transfer portal has opened, and we got a few guys already in there. Really about 4 of them. Had DB jump in last week. This week, receiver number 1, the receiver I told y'all about all season long, Quan Lee, has hit the portal. So he's already got offers from Rutgers, Arkansas State. Wondering what other school he may be looking for. I fully expect him to leave. Just looking at the offers, not hadn't talked to the kid or anything. I'm just reading tea leaves. And when I read the tea leaves and I look, it says Quan Lee's probably leaving. And I'm not completely upset. Again, when you saw what happened at UCF, where he kind of was discarded, didn't really get a chance to develop, comes to FAMU, gets developed, grows, coach leaves, stuff happens. It's not a shock. Now, this one shocked me. Kobe Gross was the one that surprised me. He's in the portal. I haven't seen him get any offers, but we'll see. If you don't remember, Kobe Gross is like 6th year playing college football, maybe 7th. Like, at this point, he's pretty much a pro. But we're going to see. Haven't seen any offers go out there yet, but we'll see. Like, just because one of my questions with Kobe Gross, and it's not a slight on him, it's some of it is the system. His production hasn't been great, and we've seen moments, especially you think about to that Miami game, ball security sometimes. Like, he'll make an amazing play, and then right after, but he's got the potential. And so I'm wondering where he goes from there, what kind of Division I program he ends up at. Good. Those are my questions. And was he a casualty? Like, I'm just saying. And my man Mike says, get Angie, Reggie, and Florida Citrus to create a Florida Classic baseball and softball weekend. Classic at Disney Complex. Put in the work for that. Hey, I like that though. But I'm with you, Mike. I think Wide World of Sports is a great place to have that. I honestly, I think for a Florida Classic weekend, again, I think you do the same thing. And it ain't necessarily got to be FAMU and Cookman playing each other that weekend. It could just be FAMU and Cookman playing to steal your basketball idea. The Alabama schools. You have Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and they just play their whole series at the Wild World of Sports. That's 10,000 seats. It's going to swallow the crowd. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. That stadium is pretty big. Like for an HBCU atmosphere. I've been to some really good I did spring training with the Braves there with one of my buddies, Daniel. Shout out Daniel. But Daniel is the person we get each other to go to things that we're not comfortable going. So because Daniel's white, I'm black, and be like, hey, I'm going to NASCAR. We're going to Bethune Grill. So, and he did. Then that joker went to Bethune Grill without me and was over there like, man, it's good. And I'm like, dude, you suck. You ain't gonna bring nothing for nobody. And Daniel's good for that. That's my UF football buddy. When I go to the Gator games, if it's not my cousin Jonathan, it's probably Daniel. So, shout out to Daniel though, known him since high school. But did he get in last year as well, Demetria? I'm not surprised. I don't say that. I like Grossby's inconsistent as ball issues. I concur. There we go. Look, Jeremiah, been looking for you. Now, this was a kick to the gut. It was it was a shock, but then it wasn't. And James Ash going to Auburn, War Eagle. Not a shock, not a complete shock, not a surprise. And I get it. Like last year, I don't think he really got to play or show his best skill set with last year's defensive line. I do think he played well, but this is what I've said before. I'll say it again. My biggest issue with our players going to the higher level their senior year is they tend to get lost in the shuffle. Like, is James Ash going to do like General Hunt and kind of get that year to sit at Auburn and then prove himself? Or is he just getting thrown in the mix next week? Because if he's thrown in the mix next week, can he compete? Absolutely. Is he going to get the same opportunities that he would have if he had come in as a junior and had 2 years in the system? I don't think so. And I think that's part of the concern. But I don't know what the NIL deal may or may not be. I don't want to speculate. Yeah, no, I don't watch other people's pockets. But I wish him the best. But I would have loved to see him with this year's defensive line. But I think if you ask Colsey, he's surprised, but he's not shocked. Like, and Demetria, I'm with you though. Like, just saying. And years ago, the Mick had a baseball weekend where a number of schools all played simultaneously. So one weekend, it marched at a complex. Might have been during spring break that year. Hey, I'm just saying. And Ezekiel says, not a shock, but James Ash may regret that move to Auburn. I like some in the past. He may just be a practice squad. Hope the NFL was worth it. And I hope he gets more than that opportunity. That's just me being jealous. Like, as a jealous FAMU, I don't want our best players to kind of do what Anthony Dunn did last year, or what John Chaney did at Colorado, or I'm trying to think of another one. What your boy did when he went to Georgia Tech. What was that? Zende Ray, I think. It hadn't worked. Like, not saying it can't work, but it hasn't worked. Like, General Hunt pretty much played the bowl game. He made a difference, But outside of that, and he got accommodations from Brett Bielema, but outside of that, how much are we really getting? Like when our players go to that next level, like, and that's just an honest question for me. So just saying, like, when it comes to me, I get the NIL aspect of it, but I also kind of ask the question of when does it get to a place where we can kind of keep some of these guys? And like I said before, and are we just the farm systems? Are we the minor leagues? And if we are, I heard a coach say it, there should be some compensation for the smaller schools. Like, no disrespect, but if you're going to use them to poach talent and let them develop talent, there should be a little greasing of the palm towards way of FAMU athletics, whether it's in kind through, relationships that can turn into something fiduciary, or is it something that you just flat out cut them a check? Like, because if these schools are developing the talent, then we should get something for it, right? Like AA college football, I agree. It's just a system of NIL, but the agents, even the parents out there giving bad advice. Yeah, we saw that with the whole Nico deal. I don't know how much money he got. I'm just saying. And Ms. Williams says, look, pay us to train them. I'm just saying. Like, and it's all FCS getting players snagged. It is. It's not just us. Yeah. There's some bad advice out there. Terrible. I love these kids bet on themselves. Some folks who can IL will find themselves SOL. Amazon Enterprise is always looking for former athletes. And what's the other one? UPS. Boy, UPS is getting them football players left and right. Warehouse somewhere. But I think that's the next thing. Like, little baby says, I would say, unless you're tired of playing and want to ride out your tenure, getting all expenses, which include all field amenities, I would make the move. Yeah, like, and this is me. I feel like, and I don't know how long we can really use the Isaiah Land and their stories, but they got on the field. They got seen, and now they're in the league, where we've seen the opposite for those guys who transferred out. The only guys that really worked for was Cam Ward, and Cam Ward plays the most important position on the field, and he was him and Incarnate Word. Then he goes to Washington State, he's him again. Then he goes to Miami, and he's him. Like, what do you notice with even the Cam Ward story? Yes, he moved up every year, but he did multiple years at the FCS level or FBS level, all the levels actually. But he did multiple years at the bowl FBS level. Like, even with Travis Hunter and Shador, if you want to use them as examples, they had 2 consecutive years at Colorado. Like, but coming out the gate, they were both 2 and 4-star prospects. So I think Hunter was 5. So yeah, like, if you're kind of using them as an example, I think that there's a little flaw in the market there. And then Ash had been okay, but he wasn't killing it out there like that. I think we're going to be okay on what we have coming in. I think we're going to be okay too. But I think part of when you're saying he wasn't killing it, man, our defensive line was great last year. He was undoubtedly the best one. I think had he had that other guy on the other side, those other 2 guys, it would have been a really big year. I think I'll say this, and I don't know how much eligibility they had, so that could be an issue. but had him done and I just said his name. General Hunt stayed together, they might have made some money. Like they might have made some serious money because they would have really jumped on the film more than kind of being separate. My personal opinion. And I don't even think they would have made money saying that at the pro level. I'm saying they could have hit the portal. And I think they really would have shown like they could have made a little bit of coin. That's just my personal opinion. Like, but yeah. Love. He was good. He need help. Yeah, he did. He did. So we're gonna see, man. And Mike says we need to make ourselves into HB's equivalent of NDSU, and we'll be able to maintain a level of athletics that will keep us at the forefront. We need to exploit our niche. I agree. NDSU is also the state flagship, which y'all know how I feel about the state flag for Florida. I don't like them Gators. Can't stand them. And JT, exactly. That's my point. For North Dakota, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, really, you want to be like some of those schools in those conferences. Some of those schools are the state flagships. They're getting money from the state that we're not getting. Like, let's just call a spade, you know. We're in the middle of a process of finding a president. And in this process, I don't need that lady Marva there. No disrespect, because she lives right around, not far from me. So if I saw her in the street, I wouldn't recognize her. But if I saw her and she pulled up on me, I'd say, like, hey, I wish you well, but I wish you somewhere else than FAMU. Like, you're not a fit. Like, and we've seen where, not to delve too deep into that, but y'all know, she's not a good fit. And part of it is her ties to DeSantis. We've seen what DeSantis has done to the state of Florida. We've seen what he's done to the state university system. We saw what one of his appointees did at the state flagship. That man went to UF and stole money. Like, horrible job. Like, he came here with no experience and took over. She at least has some experience, but we've seen what they've done to places like New College, where that place isn't recognizable from what it used to be. That used to be the school for the State Honors College. Senior kids are a little different there, but we do not, and I will say this publicly, need her in the running. And I really don't want a president that has no experience in administration at all. Like, we've seen this before. Like, I like Dr. Palm. I'm with you, Brian. There's a few of them I like, but she ain't one of them. And it's not because she's a woman, but it's because where she aligns herself in certain areas doesn't fit our culture. And, you know, say what you will about FAMU finances, XYZ and the third, and she could be very well connected. But if you're going to be that conservative and at Florida A&M University, you're not a good fit. And that's on me. Like, y'all know I'll be straight up with you and tell you the truth before I lie to you. Like, I think Dr. Palm should get a shot. I do understand some of the difficulties there, but I think you should get a shot. I'll leave it there. Y'all know my favorite. My favorite is Dr. Jackson. I didn't even see his name up there, but look, Dr. Jackson will forever be my number one for FAMU. Like, I know I didn't see his name up there. All right, so look, I see him in the chat, but I'm gonna look. Brian told you so. Look, Brian said it, not Keith. Brian said it, not Keith. Like, I'm just saying. I'm gonna say it one more time. Brian Fulford of the ONG Strike Zone said it first on the Fangs Up podcast. I look. Um. Oh, I thought I sent. The link, Brian. Let me fix that. I promise you, I thought I had said that, but Brian said it first. And I want to make sure y'all know I'm petty like that too. I bet I didn't press the send button. Hey, double check. Oh, I texted to you. Let me email it to you. But Brian from the OG Strike Zone said it first. If you did not hear, if you did not know, you're a new coach, and you have to forgive me. This ain't great podcasting, but make sure I send the link to Brian the right way because I texted to him. Brian said it first. Like, y'all can miss me on all the other stuff. But before other people said it, I heard Brian say it. In the ONG Strike Zone legend, Brian said it. We got our coach, y'all. And I backed your words right here. Hey, I appreciate it. Look, y'all know I cite my sources. I got a history degree from the illustrious history department of Florida University. And I promise you, I don't play by citing sources. Like Brian said it, he was right. And Coach Charlie Ward, he didn't say no names, but he was like, man, somebody had already said I was coming. And I was like, hey, I can't help, we have hunches over here. Y'all know we stand on data. So let me know if you're ready, Brian. Okay, there we go. Let's bring him on in. Look, I just want to make sure. I told y'all, I text Brian, I said, hey, I want to give you a chance to gloat. So you can say I was right.
Let me get my shoulders back. Stand up a little straighter today.
How's it going, Brian?
I'm great. It feels good to be right every now and then. I wish I could have been right with some of these NBA games the other day in the last 2 days, but or the baseball series or anything, But I'll take a win where I get it.
Hey, man, look, I had to make sure, man. Look, we got Brian on, and you saw we got a women's basketball commit. We'll see how that goes. I'm not even stressing about that. I'm gonna talk about the commits and stuff on Thursday.
I missed that. We do.
We did. We got a guard, Natasha Barnes. But we're gonna look at this new coaching situation we got here. How did you feel about it? All the press conferences? Because look, I know Charlie was tired.
What was he tired from?
Look, like what Allison's interview was 20 minutes. Then he did the thing, the press conference.
Oh, okay. The other ones, yeah. Oh, so the Allison's was before the press conference.
I don't know which one was before Vaughn, but her or Vaughn. I'm guessing Vaughn. Normally Vaughn goes first, but
I gotta go look. I didn't. I'm trying to see. It's hard because just spoiler alert. We're gonna have Charlie on the show Wednesday. So I have to be. I want to make sure I don't ask questions that have already been asked.
Gotcha.
But I want to watch and more so I'm kind of doing some other research, been kind of looking back at some different articles and things that he said in various places over the last couple of years, because you kind of had the anniversary of the Heisman and all this stuff. So 30 years and all that fun stuff. So I'm trying to do my research there, and I saw one clip from Allison where she asked the question, which is the $1 million question. I think that we all want to know, and I was genuinely happy to see the response by Coach Ward on that. So yeah.
I like that, man. And honestly, I don't know about you. I did watch the presser, and I looked at each person. I listened to Dr. Beard talk. I like Dr. Beard. I like the fact that he's just a fan. Like there's a part of him that is a FAMU fan, and he don't hide from it. Like you watch him go up there, and all of his West Florida-ness comes out, and he's just a happy rattler that we got somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got that. I got that sense from him, and I thought that was good. You know, I think AD Suggs, she shared a very interesting story to let people know she understands where we're at. And she is one thing I've noticed over the past, what are we now, 7 months into her administration? Probably something like that. She's very intentional about letting you know where we are, where we need to be, right? If we want to get to where we want to get to. And she's subtle. I mean, she has to be, but she's very strategic and smart about the way she says it. Like, she will constantly remind you that we have the minimum number of Division I programs in our, at FAMU, the minimum, right? So we can't afford to lose anybody. And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, because I was looking at the numbers the other day, Keith, I don't feel like we are probably compliant with Title IX. I mean, I think we're probably behind. I mean, I don't know if I should say that too loudly, but we need to have more women's sports, because I think when we've talked about this in the past, the topic has come up of adding women's sports to get us more compliant, right? So I mean, just little things like that, man. And I enjoyed the. Count?
That might be the one that gets us over.
Well, it must, because I was doing the numbers. I was looking at the numbers the other day, and I kept looking. And I'm like, do we have 14? Let me see. We got 5. Well, see, what it is you get indoor and outdoor track. And I think indoor and outdoor track counts as 2, right? So.
And we don't have men's cross country, I don't believe.
We don't have men's cross country, because I was looking into that, which is interesting that we don't have men's cross country, because I would think, just like on the women's side, that those same people who run distance in track, they're like the same young ladies who are part of our championship cross country team, they run distance for us at indoor and outdoor track. I would imagine we could do that similarly with the men's program, so I don't know. We don't, but.
And we don't have men's tennis. We dropped men's tennis when I was at FAMU.
Yeah.
Which hurt.
It does. And that's why it's always going to be hard for us to win that Commissioner's Cup. I mean, we literally have to almost sweep the spring. Now, we're doing pretty good so far. I mean, right? Let's be real. We got 2. We're 2 for 2 so far. I don't know. Are we counting bowling as part of the spring?
I'll count them as. I guess they're still in the fall.
Fall? No, the championships were in the winter, weren't they?
They might be. Look, the way that bowling season went, it's good to forget.
Yeah, it will get better next year, but it was just a tough year this year. I saw EA say it's 9 women and 5 men sports, so I guess they do count cheerleading. I guess, but
I thought I saw it on the website. But I honestly, this is just me, Brian, and I know I'm different, but I know in the past we've already talked about soccer. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go in that direction, women's soccer is the obvious next choice, just because it's cheap. Like,
and it's numbers.
Yeah, it's cheap and it's numbers. Like,
yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know if you want to touch like lacrosse.
It's
or something.
a competitive league. No. You wouldn't. I don't think you would do any sport that is outside of, excuse my voice, whatever the conference already has. And the conference already has a soccer league. And so you have 8 schools that play soccer, 8 or 10 maybe. So it would be a good fit for us to move into playing soccer. You know,
especially culturally. Like Tallahassee, quietly, for those who like don't know, Tallahassee's probably soccer is Tallahassee's third sport. Like I'd be honest with you,
really?
locally, I would put soccer and baseball ahead of basketball. Like I know that sounds really crazy, but
In
as a local,
Tallahassee?
someone who grew up in Tallahassee,
Mhm.
when you start talking about the overall community, not just like our pockets, but extending all the way up to the Georgia border, oh man, like
Really?
soccer is huge in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got me.
we
I mean,
grew up.
'cause
We grew up playing. We played football, soccer, and that was literally because you can just throw a ball out there, 20 kids, go for it.
yeah.
Like, yeah. Men's soccer would definitely kill at FAMU because the sport FSU doesn't have too, which that's a whole nother soapbox of mine, which I really don't think we should duplicate every sport they have, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think we excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my voice here, but I do think I do think eventually in the next 3 years, I think I can foresee us moving into that. I think as we start to understand a little more about what the revenue and the finances of athletics looks like, I could really see us beginning to go down that path. And I think so. This will be an interesting upcoming year and the year after. And then maybe you start to do some financial analysis and say, okay, how can we incorporate women's soccer, for example, into the flow? You know?
I like that. And I love that you mentioned revenue. You mentioned the OG Strike Zone. If you missed it last week, they kind of went through the contract a little bit and went over some of the numbers. And you all mentioned that there's some revenue sharing opportunities within this contract that allows Charlie Ward to share revenue with the players, which is something Curry actually mentioned. Like, you know,
Yes.
we had that conversation, and Curry was like, yo, I'd love to do that. And so we're seeing that come through with Charlie Ward. How do you think that kind of changed the game as far as maybe making FAMU more competitive just in the SWAC?
Well, Coach Crary had already shared with me that of the top 4 to 5 programs in the SWAC, like the 4 teams that were in the semifinals, they all do something similar. And you can go look at the schedules for, I'm going to use Jackson State and Bethune in particular because, those are 2 teams who were in the semifinals. But remember, Jackson, they started 0-13. And if you look at their schedule from this past season versus the year before, you can see the increase in Division I games. Well, that money, after you reach a certain, whatever their limit is. For example, I know Crary's limit was his budget said after $600,000, he received a personal bonus of $30,000. Mm-hmm. Personal, not even for assistant coaches, just him. Now, the new contract for Ward has that budget of after $250,000, which, I mean, look, that's easy. I mean, what is that? That's probably
1 game.
Is it 1 game? I don't know.
1
what
or
is
2?
The going rate? What is the going rate? I was going to say 3, but what's the going rate for these games? Is it like 100,000, 75 to 100,000?
Could be, depending on who you're playing. I mean, you think about, I mean, UK's been a little bit nice, but that was a decent little contract we got that day. So, I mean, you know, elephant in the room, do you go across the street and take a $50,000, $75,000 bus ride? You know.
Hell yes.
I would.
Yeah.
You go to Gainesville all the time.
Here's I think the selling point for that game. And if I'm the planners of this game, you know what I partner with that game? I partner or make it a package where, let's say that FAMU Florida State game happens at 6:00. Well, you know what you do? At noon and 2 or maybe 1 and 3, you get a couple of high school games run before.
Like the Capital City Classic.
Yeah, just run a couple of whoever your top women's teams are in the area. You're probably going to want to incorporate either a FAMU High or Florida High, maybe one of their women's teams. Give each school an opportunity to have their boys or girls program play somebody local, whoever your big rival is. You probably know better than me. But that way you get the community coming to the game. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They're off the floor by 4:30, 5 at the latest. Now you got about an hour, which is a good warm-up time for your college game, which will tip off at 6 o'clock. Yeah, I think it would be a home run. It would be a home run atmosphere. And what you're selling to Florida State is, yes, Florida State, you're going to pay us $75,000 for this game. And be like, huh? What? Yes, you're going to pay us $75,000. And in return, it's going to be played over in the what is the Civic Center?
The Tucker Center.
Tucker Center. I thought that's what it was. You're going to play it at the Tucker Center. You're already getting the concessions and the ticket gate and all that stuff. You're already getting all that. That's fine. We're going to bring in crowd. We're going to bring in people. You're going to have the marching chief pep band. Guess what we're bringing? We're bringing the marching 100 pep band. It's going to be an atmosphere. It's going to be a live atmosphere. It'll be a fun atmosphere for everybody involved. And I mean, that's what you do. And you have this set up where maybe if you do a 3-year deal, year 1 and 2, is at the Tucker. Year 3, guess where you need to play it? Come on over to Lawson. Play it on Lawson. I mean, we got a big enough facility. How many does Tucker seat? Like 13?
They're about the same, Brian.
Yeah, okay. I figured that.
It's so when Lawson Center was built,
yeah,
for a while it was bigger than the Tucker Center. Like for a while, FAMU had the largest arena in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think FSU is the largest in Northwest Florida. I believe the Lawson's second or third largest in Northwest Florida.
Oh my God.
I'm that kind of nerd.
The marching 100, they don't have. Oh, don't get me started.
Look, I'm with you, Brian.
Why is it? What do you mean coming for free? They're not coming. I mean, it's an in-house ride. We got to put them on a bus. Put them on a bus. I don't know. I mean, come on. I mean, it's right down the road. Why do they have to? Stop.
You're paying. It would be like 50 kids. It's a home game.
I'm not gonna get baited into this argument because that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble for later. So
goodness. So now going back to AD Suggs, one of the things I like that you pointed out, I'm not gonna be too long, Brian, because it was definitely short notice. But I like that she showed that she had a freaking plan. It was so different. She was literally like, I had a short list. And that makes me look at other coaches on campus. Here. She's saying she got a short list, meaning we all know what it is. Everybody ain't winning. And for those who ain't winning, there's an exit plan. Like, I like the fact that this was able to get done quick. I mean, literally, 2 weeks ago, we were just sitting there spitballing, and it was like Leonard Hamilton and Charlie Ward. And it was like, ooh. 2 weeks later, Charlie Ward's coach. Like,
well, look, what helped facilitate this, and Coach Ward, he shared how this happened. I mean, first off, his wife, AD Suggs, sorors, I believe they all attend the same church. So it was one of those things of, hey, let me throw this and feel you out. And then so after talking to Mrs. Ward, right, this is a savvy AD, right? I'm not going to go talk to Coach Ward. I'm going to talk to the boss of the house. So even Coach Ward will tell you who the boss of the house was. He even said it. So AD Suggs, being the savvy person that she is, what'd she do? She went and talked it over with her soror, the boss of the house. And once she said, this is a great idea. This would be good. Who did she text? She texted her husband and said, hey, you're going to get a call or a text. Keep an open mind. Charlie had no idea. He was like, huh? What? He was like, I mean, just like most of us men, you know, our women tell us to do things. You know this, Keith, not me yet, but you know this. When your wife calls you and tells you, Keith, such about to happen, have an open mind. You're like, huh? What? What am I doing? You know, so that happened. And once he started putting together, it was like, oh, okay. But they were already 2 steps ahead of him. Beautiful. It's beautiful how that works. You know, that's the savviness of 80 Suggs. But the relationships is what helped this thing move forward. Relationships matter. Mm-hmm. And when you have a relationship with somebody, and it was almost everything that he said is what I told. I didn't want to say it. I told you.
Don't say it, right?
I'm not gonna say it. But didn't I tell you? It was the relationships. It was the fact that it was the if he was going to coach, it was going to be for her, because it was somebody he knows, somebody that his family knows, somebody that he can believe and trust. And what else? I love the fact that he said this is not a stepping stone for him. That part right there was like, oh. So, you know, he's going to do everything in his power to win games, put a good product on the floor. You know, obviously the results will have to speak for themselves. College athletics will either drive him insane or he'll learn how to adjust to it and make it work in the best interest of his program. But I also told you what else was going to be a big factor. The what was the name of it? The Champions.
Oh yeah, the sports facility they're building.
Right. It was a Champions Ranch. I
believe it is Champions Ranch.
Champions Ranch. He talked about that, in which I told you. I said that in itself, because when I read what it was that he wanted to do, I remember reading that article about 2 years ago. What he wanted to do and how he wanted to create a facility that could reach and touch not just the local high school, but also the colleges. I mean, he wants to build something that is sustainable. He has put his hands in the soil, and he wants to be a part of Tallahassee. This was a home run hire. You couldn't ask. I mean, I don't know if there was a better hire for him and for us. I really, and that's what makes it so nice. The relationships of his family, being FAMU graduates. I mean, this might be the most, this might be the most impactful hire since
Gillespie.
Simmons. Well, if we're talking basketball, yes. If we're talking basketball, yeah, definitely it's Gillespie. It is. Because he too was another local person that was well known within the city of Tallahassee for what he had built over at Tallahassee Community College. And so isn't it kind of funny that we can find success right in our own backyard after looking all around everywhere else in the almost in the same, it took us 2 or 3 cycles to get Gillespie. We were calling for Gillespie 6 years before it actually happened.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes.
I grew up with, TCC, but I didn't realize.
No. It was well talked about. And the whole thing was people were always like, no, they're not going to hire him. He looks different than us. I was like, huh? What? I'm like, that's the criteria. No one cares about the fact that he's winning games. Okay. Y'all keep hiring. You keep hiring all these other guys, these former people, right? Okay, great. And then look what happened, right? I mean, So it is.
Yeah.
What it is. It's
No, I love the fact you pointed out we've reached to the back in the backyard, and this is our third FSU hire. Like off the top of the dome. I mean, okay. I don't consider Jamie Shoup an FSU hire. That's just me. And that's because I know the
He's been a
story.
lifetime there. He's been a lifetime there.
He's been a lifetime there, but they did him dirty.
They
did him dirty. And that's the only reason I'm not like, oh, he's an FSU hire. Oh, he cut his teeth at Florida State. He went to the College World Series at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, well, when it was cutthroat time, they did Jamie Shoup dirty. But he's still FSU hired. Then of course you have Colsey. And how crazy is this? Like, you have a football Heisman Trophy winner as a basketball coach. Like, that's nuts. And FSU hire. So, or FSU graduate. So I think that's kind of crazy. And I love that you pointed out the other thing, though, and this, to me, both Tallahassee coaches have no head coaching experience in the college level, but both have deep ties to the NBA. And I want to see how that works. Luke Lautz was an executive with the Golden State Warriors. He brings in Terrence Mann, who played with the Clippers. I believe he also played with the Raptors as kind of their like basketball CEO.
Mm-hmm.
But Lautz is a basketball CEO type. We got Charlie Ward, NBA player, NBA coach, now coming at the college level. It's going to be interesting. I do want to see who he brings on his coaching staff. I want that. I kind of want that OG on the staff. That guy that's maybe not older than him, but almost like a Pat Kennedy. Like, I know that's going to be weird for those who, aren't familiar, but I would love to have that kind of sage on the side.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction with you. I don't want that. If anything, I want Charlie Ward to be the oldest guy on the bench, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, yes, because I'll tell you, this is a young man's grind.
It is.
This is the way college, especially for our level, it is a hustle. That's why I thought Pat Crary was such a good hire, because he was a hungry young coach that, he'll get out and he will be there. He will get out and he'll talk to people. I know he had his assistants, but I think what Ward is hopefully bringing in, I've heard a few names and I'm hoping they are true. And I hope they are the ones that were in attendance at the press conference. But if he hires the people that I think he's going to hire, one in particular, I think will be a great hire from the standpoint of being able to provide the know-how for this environment. College basketball continues, like there's some aspects of college basketball which are the same. And I think it is great, the fact that Charlie Ward, being a high school coach, he's in it, he knows it. He has highly recruited players, so he talks to college coaches. But being on the other side of it is a different kind of hustle, and having someone who has done it at a higher level, at a Power 5 program level, would be huge for him. And so I hope that opportunity presents itself, and that'll be a good addition to the staff, to have somebody who can help almost run your organization. I mean, who can kind of be that person. I mean, because
I'll be honest, I think right now, and this just could be the press conference, I see Charlie coming in as a CEO. Like, I don't really see him. I see him as the face of the program. He is our basketball version of what he had in college. He had Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden was known as this great football mind, but by the time Charlie and them were playing, it's Mark Richt. Like, Bobby's there, but Bobby is really the guy that he brings in the groceries. Mark was cooking it up. Chuck Amato and all those guys, they're doing the defensive stuff. I think Charlie's the guy that really helps us, one, stable the base. Like, he helps keep the me and you of the world kind of like, all right, cool. Rattler Nation, this guy's solid. But then I think he has a pit bull behind him that's going to go and get the groceries and that may even do some of the extra legwork. But I agree. I don't know how much of Charlie we're going to see out there being Charlie.
Did you hear him say he already runs his high school program like a college program? So
yes.
to me that tells me he already does certain things that he sees at the college level. Okay, whether it be practice routine, expectations, which, the good coaches do that. I know our coach at the school where I coach, Orlando Christian Prep, I have said that I have talked to all of our, this is my 6th year, and this is the 1 year we don't have actually a senior that's going to play, but I've asked the guys who have come back, just because I watch our practices and I see what we do in the preparation in games and in-game stuff, and I just have a sense that these guys are going to be prepared wherever they end up. And I've asked some of them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Coach Fulford. I mean, actually, when we get to college, it's like some of, and I'm not going to say schools, but some of them have said, man, it's way easier in college than what we had here in high school. I mean, because it's like we have more free time. It's a little. Our coach is very detail oriented, so the practices were that way, and so I'm hearing Ward say those kind of things, and I'm thinking, okay, that's good. That's good, and it's good to hear, and I think it's a good indicator that maybe true he has not coached a college basketball game, but he is not unfamiliar with the college basketball game, which I think sometimes people may assume that and think that a high school coach or a non-Division I coach is not prepared, but no, he's prepared for this, and so I'm excited. That's what I found, one of the things that I came away saying, wow, okay, I'm glad I heard that. I love that. Love hearing that.
And to answer your question, Ashley, give it a few months. Like, the downside of this hire being so far from the start of the season is the benefit that you get recruiting, but you lose some of that juice. And you got to have that person, because you saw where I love that the season tickets are already out there. Hey, get your basketball tickets. I haven't seen that in forever. Like,
man, that's a home run. How many other big name press conferences have we seen over the last 2 months, and they missed that opportunity to have their season ticket packages ready, even if it's you just taking a deposit. I don't care that you don't have the schedule up. We all know the schedule's not ready, but that's all right though. Give me a chance to put a deposit on the season. Bam. Great. Love that. Great job. Congratulations. Good job, 80 Suggs, for that.
I love that. And now I will say my only thing, I like that deposit idea. I want that online. I want it to be like, a page where it's like season tickets, basketball season tickets, schedule coming soon, but put your deposit down on your season tickets now, or just pay for it outright. Like, I've seen that other places where they will tell you, like, we don't have the schedule yet, but trust us.
We should be able to do that. I would hope so. I mean, I do know. I love the fact that they were on site. They had the box open. Get people while you have access to them. Have them. Now, the other thing that we have to do is we have to market this, right? And I said this on Sunday, on Sunday's show that I do with Drew, Sports Rap, right? And I said, and it was in reference to Norfolk State. They had their spring game on Saturday. Mike Vick was there. And they had all these other,
Allen
Tyrod
Iverson.
Taylor, a WA champion, WBO boxing champion, Allen Iverson, some other people, right? And I said, at that point in time, somebody should have been going around filming, giving these people just a hey, come be a part of the Mike Vick experience right here and get your season tickets now. In the next week, I don't know if it started yesterday, but I mean, FAMU Athletics, FAMU Marketing, Dennis Driscoll, whomever, you all need to be reaching out to those people that Charlie Ward has connections with and getting them on wax stating, hey, FAMU, a change is coming. Get on the Ward Express now. Like, go to Jeff Van Gundy. Go to Pat Ewing. Go to his Knicks teammates. Go to Sam Cassell, Bob Sora, whoever. I don't know. Yep. His dad. I don't care who it is.
Derek Brooks.
Thank you, Derek Brooks. Whoever.
I'll say it now, Brian. Look. I'm a quote a FAMU graduate, Dr. Jamal Nicholas, the band director, Tuskegee. Once it hits my hands, it's clean money. And I feel like advertising wise, we should really, if we're gonna take advantage of the moment, we should have 17 basketball jerseys that say Ward on the back. With FAMU though, you should have, bring in the Derek Brooks, bring in his old football teammates. Because guess what? That's what Prime did. Like, we talk so much about the Prime effect. Part of what he did and what he did so well, he brought his friends and the people that he knew to Jackson. He put them in the sideline clubs and all these other places. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, they were saying, hey, come support my boy. He had Lil Wayne up there at Colorado. Like, let's see if we can get those guys out there. Some of Charlie Ward's former teammates, John Starks, like you said, Ewing, get them on the sideline at the FAMU games and have them, hey, give them the mic. Hey, y'all, I just came here to Tallahassee to support my boy Charlie. Need y'all to support Charlie Ward. Get that going. Because Cozy was there. Cozy was there today.
Yeah.
Like, have Cozy out there. Have a jersey swap. Have Cozy give Ward a football jersey. Have Ward give Cozy a basketball jersey. And have each person's name on the back. Like, each coach. This is just me. I'm thinking outside the box.
That's a dope idea. I like that. I like that idea.
Every coach should have a jersey from every sport. And they should wear it at the different sporting events. Coach Rice should have football jerseys. He should have baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys. And when he comes out there, he's wearing the jersey. And guess what? You can go and buy this jersey at the bookstore or at FAMU online. Like, I know I'm
great ideas. No, hey, I mean, great ideas. Great ideas. We gotta execute, and you gotta find time to execute it and make it happen. We'll see how long it takes, but I think the promo has to get done. I mean, look, I saw, and here's why I think it's hopeful as possible. I saw what FAMU Athletics put together for the golf tournament. Let me see. Day 3 was on Wednesday. That dropped 4 days later. So that's great. So the production can happen. So, I mean, look, if that's what you need, 4 or 5 days, fine. I would hope by the middle of next week, I'm seeing promos run about the basketball. Once we figure out how to get those tickets sold online, or, hey, call. I mean, we need to do it. There needs to be a 1 minute, 30 second or 1 minute promo of just people, saying, hey, FAMU, get your season tickets. hey, I'm Jeff Van Gundy, former Knicks coach, and I know that a change is coming because Charlie Ward is leading the program. Something.
I love it. It's some clips from when he was playing. I told you, look, the show is titled today, Heisman to the Hill. Like, the Heisman Trophy is, well, there's two of them that I know of. The one at Florida State is literally across the street. The one in Thomasville is in the library. Like, you don't think that we can have some type of like Charlie Ward Heisman type vibe? And I don't know how much he wants to embrace that as a basketball coach. But is some of this, it's got to be the marketing of this and getting people into the Lawson Center.
Well, yeah, and you have to do it in a way that he's comfortable with as well, because that was the one thing that the other guy from the other school, when he burst onto the scene, he was a marketing tsunami, right? Ward is a little more reserved in that, but he listens to people, and he knows the importance of being able to get people to come believe in a product. And again, you're faced with having to rebuild. We don't know who the names are going to be. I mean, hell, the whole team jumped in the portal, so we don't know who we have. I mean, I know hopefully we're trying to get some guys to come back, but I'm okay. If we got to start brand new, we start brand new. It is what it is. We understand that's the life of FAMU being a mid-major program. You're gonna rebuild every year, every 2 years, probably. So that's okay, fine. But as we get to know guys, it's like, you're not gonna come to a FAMU game because of the players. I hate to say that, folks. Because after time we're not gonna know who they are until probably mid-December. We're just not.
Unless they're local junior college guys.
Unless they're, and how many of those do most people really know? Very few. So you're going to come because of the head coach. The head coach is going to sell you and help you believe that he is going to build a program based on what he said, right? PACE, PACCEE. That's what it's about. So
I think it's going to be exciting, Brendan Ball.
Yeah, good stuff. And hopefully, we inch a little bit closer to getting King James in the building. I don't know, somehow,
Man. Don't get me started on that, Brian. Yeah. Got the LeBron jerseys back there. I'll say that.
Yeah. Hey, look, somehow, some way, he'll come sometime soon. I believe it. There's my bold prediction right there. I gave you one last week. I'm giving you another. LeBron James will make an appearance to FAMU sometime in 2025. There it is.
I will say, I think if he comes, it'll be after he retires. And he's going to be doing his tours to kind of meet with the communities for the schools that wear his stuff.
I'm not saying he's retiring this year, Keith.
LeBron and I are the same age, pretty much. And it don't look like it's about to be Lakers in 5.
Definitely won't be Lakers in 5. That's a 7-game series. They're in a struggle. That's going to be a super 7-game struggle.
Well, Brian, I appreciate you coming on. Look, because I wanted to make sure, because I ain't going to lie to y'all, I was highly heated when folks are like, oh, I got a source, and nobody said Brian's name. And I'm like,
maybe I was the source, Keith. I feel like I was the source, but that's just me in my feelings. I feel like I might have been the source, but
I felt like Brian was the source. I ain't gonna say it too loud.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take that to the grave, that I was the source. That's all.
Because it's not the first time things have been said here, then they end up other places and somebody says they have a source.
I saw it on this show. I got a source. We all had sources.
Goodness, Brian, can you tell us? Look, it's approaching that time. Wednesday, ONG Strike Zone. What? Look, he already let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but what y'all got coming
championship. You know, that's our biggest shows when we celebrate champions. So it's a championship celebration show on Wednesday night. We got our head golf coach, our championship winning golf coach, Mike Rice, joining the show. We've got our championship women's tennis coach, Coach Nikki Houston, joining the show. And we've got state champion, national champion, Heisman winner, coach number 16, Charlie Ward. It's just a championship edition of the ONG on Wednesday. So, I mean, 3 interviews back to back to back. Lord willing, everything works out. You know, the internet connection stays up. We don't have a nationwide outage or anything ridiculous. And everybody can make it to their computers on time. But other than that, we're looking forward to a big show Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Don't anybody else go scheduling other shows and other programs and other meetings. No, you want to get locked in so that you can hear from the coaches. I mean, how many times we won 2 conference titles in a 7-day span, Keith. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. Only us and Alabama State have done that. You know, Alabama State did that in women's golf. They did it in the opposite of what we did, right? Men's tennis, women's golf. We won women's tennis, men's golf. You know, Alabama State.
How many more sports do they have than us?
Well, yes. Let's not go there. It is. They've got, you know, they captured titles in the sports that we're not in. So what's that say?
And I'm hearing women's golf was, well, with our last AD, women's golf was an option. I don't know if it is with AD Suggs or not, but it's
Coach Rice could make it happen now. I mean,
he had an assistant
he did.
that I believe she was supposed to be the heir apparent to take that over if we made that move.
Yes. Well, I mean, we are in a better place with our golf program and the facilities and the things that we have. I don't know why it couldn't work with a women's program. I mean, they're using the same facilities that we have. So, you know, that would be a home run. That would be a hit right off the bat. You know, women's golf. And after what I saw from the scores, we could win that title. You know.
I mean, a lot of people. Florida's another one of those places. I have seen 12-year-olds. We had a golf tournament. I believe it was my first year. Nah, it was before I crossed. But we did have a golf tournament. This girl was 12. They're like, you can give her a few bucks and she'll hit the ball for you. I was like, nah, man.
Hustling.
I'll let somebody go before me. That girl went up there, 12. That ball said, pink. She dropped that thing so close to her. I said, here you go, baby. Take my money. He's like, oh, yeah, she trains out of that. I'm like, 12-year-old.
Somebody needs to be recruiting her.
Man, I'm telling you, Doc. You come down here to Orlando, man. You live down there. You see the golf courses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see it. So, hey, look, I'm hopeful, man. I'm excited. I think this is a great time to get behind athletic programs, and the link is out there. I think, what is it? You can text the 71777 number. Have you? I don't know how is there a number that we're donating? Is there a number? What are we just giving to give? I mean, what have we talked about that? Have we put a number together that we're saying? I mean,
I got to talk to AD Suggs about that. I think that's like I don't like to be bothering her just out the blue, but I think that's like that might be one of those kind of like booster meeting questions where it's like, hey, why we got you in this meeting? What's our target for athletics? Because I've always been one of those people. I believe people do better when you put a target in front of her, opposed to just telling them to give. Say, hey,
well, that number
we're trying to raise X amount of dollars.
No, the target is still there. It's to say I saw there's a link. Like if you see the post from Facebook that has the link for the giving, it'll take you to the target. I I would be apprehensive to tell people to target because I don't want anybody to get discouraged and see the number and see where we're at and be like, oh man, we're not going to reach that number. No. I want people. I think people ought to just get like, hey, that's why I said if it's $20, $25, I don't know whatever. I don't know what number works. We do like the 1887 or we did some other thing. I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe by Wednesday we can come up with a number and encourage people to give for these 2 championship programs, so that we can do that. So
I agree. I can go with that. I'll say this. I think if we have a dollar figure for like a month, like, hey, this month we're trying to hit this number, and then right after say, hey, this is what we used your money for, I think that's something solid too.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, we like to know where the money's going. I think for sure we do. And I still hold out hope. Maybe one of these days that we can get this these golf polos and championship. Look, I'm just trying to get some championship merch. I just wanted to be able to wear a SWAC Championship tennis, SWAC golf shirt, pole, something. How quickly
I want the golf team polo.
Huh?
I want the golf team polo.
Oh, I've told Coach, I say this to him every show. I say, Coach, if we can find a way to get this golf polo, because it's the dopest little logo, and all the polos are different color. I mean, you can run 5 different variations of the polo with the logo, and people, when you buy a golf polo, you're spending $50-$60 anyway.
Most times, yeah.
And people will. Adults who have money to spend, you're spending that money. You will, because you see that nice golf polo by night. I just cannot. Let's not go there.
Look, Brian, I wear my students. I have parents who literally ask, "Do I work at FAMU?"
Yeah,
I will wear a FAMU polo every day of the week, like Monday through Friday, and it's not even like, the show's today. I'm wearing a polo. Like, nah, it's Tuesday. I want a polo. I wear a FAMU polo.
Yeah. No, my kids know. I wear, mostly. A lot of times on Fridays, I'll wear my FAMU Friday. They know it's, that's what it is.
We need to bring that back, like FAMU Friday. Brian, you that's a thing. Like I remember that being a thing.
Yes.
That should be a thing. Like FAMU Friday, wear your FAMU merch, and if you can, donate 1887 to this.
There you go.
Have it as a monthly thing, so that way it's not like every month you hit me for $20. Like once a month, FAMU Friday, first Friday of the month. I'm just saying, first Friday of the month, give you $18.87 and wear your FAMU merch. Just saying. All right, man. I gotta let you go because I know my wife's gonna be looking at me funny because she thinks she's the boss. I'll be running stuff around here. Don't tell her I said that.
Okay. I will let you believe that.
All right, y'all. Look, thank you, Brian, for coming on, man. Look,
anytime, man. Appreciate you.
I had to have Brian come on. He was right. Brian called it.
Told you so.
All right, y'all. Catch the ONG Strike Zone Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be back. We're going to talk about recruiting. Talk about the basketball commit we got. Talk about transfer portal. Talk about the football commit we got. And that means I got to make my own graphics because y'all know I don't like using other people's stuff.
Love those graphics, by the way. Do a good job with that stuff.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Never mind.
I know it's a grind. I know.
Oh, goodness.
It's a whole thing. I know.
It's a thing, man. All right, y'all. For everybody out, man, we appreciate y'all. And we'll catch y'all Wednesday, ONG Strike Zone. Thursday, Fangs Up Podcast. Rattlers strike, and strike again. Because y'all already know what's going to be. Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me?
HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community. They also know how to turn up.
Does he have it?